Hello viewer, if you're curious to see how post-crisis Superman cleverly uses his abilities, then this video is power full of it. Disclaimers first. Please support the official material. Stuff I show here is for informative purposes, and spoilers. On with the show. To summarize, this will not be a complete list of Superman using his power cleverly throughout the entire post-crisis continuity. I will be going through generally the most well-known instances and the ones that I found cool. Last time, on Story Feats episode 42, check it out, we had Superman dropping a nuke to escape some villains attacking him. In the aftermath, Superman used his powers to clean up the radiation from that nuke. He uses his super speed to create a tornado and gather up all the nuclear waste, bakes it with his heat vision to solidify it, and reaches for the stars, the sun in this case. Next, Superman uses his ice breath and heat vision to fix Earth. The 5D imp Mixie, or Mixie, in this case taking the form of a suited man and woman, tries to chaotically lift everyone up, removing Earth's gravity. So Superman gets a white dwarf star from the atom to temporarily restore Earth's gravity. He heads to Earth's core, continually contracting and expanding the star with his ice breath and heat vision respectively, temporarily restoring Earth's gravity. And interesting to note, while doing this, it's stated Superman didn't let the gravitational pull greater than a planet weigh him down. Also, it sheds some light. The white dwarf star powers him like the sun. And eventually, Mixie restores Earth's gravity and puts things back to normal, for now. Now, in this same storyline, Mixie reads off his encyclopedia of Superman phasing himself and the Earth to become intangible, avoiding collision with a phantom planet, stated to save the Omniverse. Whether this actually happened is questionable, since Mixie was shown warping reality throughout the story, and there's no evidence to suggest his encyclopedias only show events that actually happened. Mixie's statement after reading the story could imply it really happened, but later on in the story, he mentions altering perceptions of people he targets, referencing a mind's eye. And Superman confirms the pictures Mixie was putting in people's minds were not real, and imagine that, Superman was able to use Mixie's own trick against him, catching him off guard. So, for the story of Superman phasing the entire planet, it's possible Mixie put thoughts in Perry White's mind, or, given his powers, he may have even altered reality to help Superman achieve this feat in order to sell his encyclopedias. Overall, it's questionable if Superman really phased Earth, given Mixie was shown messing with people's minds throughout the story. Now, for confirmed phasing feats, Superman has been able to phase through physical attacks, such as when fighting Doomsday, while also having the laser focus to phase through Mongul and Mongal's energy attacks, and back to Doomsday, his breath attack. Also, he's proven he was able to phase or oscillate at a rate that made him invisible as a way to draw out a bad guy who was going after President Lex. Next, Superman has shown proficiency with his enhanced vision abilities, such as way back in Story Feats episode 1, check it out. Superman used his X-ray vision to find the command module controlling Lex's tanks, which he destroyed. And it also showed he could see things moving at light speed. In Justice League of America 10, while initially tricked by Sensor Girl's illusion powers, Superman was able to literally see everything now and confirm he was looking at the real Sensor Girl. Also, during a fight, he was able to eyeball Equus's makeup, knowing the full extent of all of his technological enhancements, while figuring out he was human. Final example, Superman created a tornado to rip through a supposedly indestructible imperiex construct. He combined his heat and X-ray vision to find stress points on the construct, and by some twist of fate, he broke it. Now, to turn up the heat, Superman has shown creative uses of his heat vision. With most of his powers drained, Superman fought chandelier warriors who were invulnerable to physical attacks, but weak to light. He managed to reflect what little heat vision he had off the surrounding crystals to magnify the effects and paralyze the creatures. This weakened them enough for Superman to break up with the warriors, so to speak. And honorable mention, in the same story, he managed to ride and lure a kryptonian dragon to essentially kill itself by tricking it to charge into some crystal trees, presumably cutting itself on those crystals. The gravity of Superman's heat vision also extends to breaking out of Epoch's Omega barrier, which essentially acts like a black hole, where nothing could escape it. Here, Superman couldn't physically break out, so he uses his heat vision to exploit real-life physics principles, that is, quantum fluctuations, the uncertainty principle, the theory of Hawking radiation in black holes, and the theory of particle-antiparticle pairs. As I understand it, all these laws or principles apply to quantum mechanics, mechanical laws for subatomic particles like electrons and protons. For my basic and oversimplified interpretation, starting with quantum fluctuations, that refers to random changes in energy levels and states in quantum systems, that is, environments like inside an atom where subatomic particles interact. Related to that is the uncertainty principle that defines you can never truly know both the exact speed and position of a subatomic particle. The more accurately you determine its speed, the less you know its position in space, and vice versa. Regarding the theory of particle-antiparticle pairs, this stipulates that all subatomic particles have an opposite antiparticle, where if they collide, the mass converts into photons or light particles. And photons can change back into these particle-antiparticle pairs. And finally, for Hawking radiation, that's the theory that black holes emit some form of radiation near the edge or event horizon of the black hole. It's speculated the gravity of the black hole can split the photon into these particle-antiparticle pairs. The particle is released as Hawking radiation, and the antiparticle gets sucked into the black hole. Given these physics principles, and understanding they may work differently in a DC comic universe, Superman explains particle and antiparticle pairs are constantly generated around them, but they usually cancel each other out as soon as they are created. He uses heat vision on the omega barrier to add more energy to the system and accelerate the generation of these particle pairs, which I suppose loosely relates to quantum fluctuations. He explains the uncertainty principle will cause the particle and associated antiparticle to appear in different locations, so they won't collide and cancel out as normal. Then Batman explains that Hawking radiation in black holes will further separate the particle pair, with the particle appearing outside the event horizon and the antiparticle staying inside the black hole. There, Robin concludes that since Superman's heat vision accelerates the generation of particle pairs, eventually enough particles will appear outside the omega barrier, which led to creating an opening in that barrier. This allows Superman and his friends to escape. So overall, Superman wasn't able to physically break out of the omega barrier, so instead he used his heat vision down to a not-so-exact science, using quantum physics principles to escape the black hole-level omega barrier. And finally, Superman's heat vision has shown the surgical precision to lobotomize someone. Superman uses his X-ray vision to scan Manchester Black's brain, and initially appears to have used his heat vision through Manchester Black's eyes to cut something out inside his brain. It's later revealed Superman induced a focused concussion that prevented Black from using his psychic powers. Overall, Superman can lobotomize people using his heat vision along with his X-ray vision, and even adjust it to make it non-lethal. In conclusion, Superman has shown very creative use of his powers, having demonstrated knowledge in nuclear and quantum physics, human anatomy, and likely other fields. Superman has shown expert proficiency with his powers, such as using super speed for phasing, analyzing objects with his enhanced vision, and his heat vision is a hot topic for his creativity. Of course, that's just me. Read the full story and make your own judgments. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you've been empowered with more knowledge of Superman. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you like, and hope to feat you again.